I don't know what to flavor this as. Not my video, but your chances of winning in Fall Guys are basically zero now. There's a script going around that calculates the best path. What? And plays the game for you. Thanks, Square Enix, for putting in an achievement for 100 wins and giving these losers a reason to cheat. Holy fucking... Oh my god. It's almost like the FF community is begging Yoshi P to add epic easy anti-cheat to the game. It's almost like you're doing everything you can to make them take the drastic measures and ban all mods. I don't know what else you could do. I don't know how else you could act. Unless you just really wanted all the mods to be removed and unplayable in the future. Because what are you doing? It's a Fall Guys event. It's the best event they've probably ever put into this game. It is like brought back the spark of the MMO joy into Endwalker. It's literally the only large scale group content we got to do together in all of the fucking Endwalker that is new. And you're like, you know what? This is too much fun. I have to, let's find a way to program the fun out of this situation so I can just check it off my list and get it done. And if it means I have to do this illegally, okay. For what purpose? For the title? The Queen Bean title? Yeah, it's a pretty good title. But honestly, no one really gives that much of a shit about your title, okay? You know what really matters about your title is the memory that you had of getting it. And, like, remembering the good times you had fucking around in Fall Guys and not knowing where to go and not knowing, like, what's gonna land on your head and, like, the feeling of pride and accomplishment of doing it yourself. I mean, it's... Oh my god, dude. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. It's so frustrating. Because, like, I thought, right, if you like mods, you want to keep that shit on the DL. You want to be quiet about that. You want to not, you know, shout to the whole world what you're doing. You want to maybe use it minimally. But I feel like the relationship that a lot of players are having with mods and cheating has gotten so fucking comfortable in the past couple of years that because Square Enix doesn't do anything, because they can't do anything, they can't see what's run on your computer, they don't want to do that. They don't want to be forced into doing that, into monitoring what is on your computer, because it's a lot of work for them and it sucks for everybody. But I feel like we are inevitably marching towards that day when they do have to take the drastic step to eliminate all this. Because let's face it, look, this cheating shit, yeah, it's going on in Fall Guys, which sucks, and it's sad, it's depressing, but it's been going on in PvP for years. It's just gets more and more and more out of hand as more and more people get comfortable with cheating. And I don't even know, like, so I said I play on 200 ping. This is the other thing that's hilarious about the Fall Guys event, right? If you have ever raided in Final Fantasy XIV, you know that the game has a shitty netcode. And you can't just follow someone where they are, because where they are on your screen is not where they really are. It's never going to be that way. And you have to, if you want to do a mechanic, you kind of need to be there like a second before you actually would think you would need to be there, because the game has this built-in lag. And this is something raiders have been crying, screaming about for years and years and years. It's for the entire time the game has been out. And all of a sudden, all these people that have never stepped into a raid, have never really tried to clear mechanics, are like, hey, it's so hilarious. It's the Fall Guys event that has so many people like, hey, wow. So, like, ping makes the game harder to do. Actually, the ping is kind of annoying. Several milliseconds later, I felt this in my heart, yeah. It's just like real Fall Guys. What? Really? Are there people cheating in the real Fall Guys as well? I wouldn't know. I have played Fall Guys once. Early on. I'm not sure if it's still the case. Lobbies would pretty regularly have one or two people just warping straight to the end. What? I was around for the beginning and now. Cheating is pretty much 100% gone, thank God. Well, what did they do about it? How did they stop it in Fall Guys? How can you not cheat in Fall Guys? Do they just ban people? Fucking speed hackers. I see speed hack in PvP. It's insane how much cheating there is in this game. Like, the number of people... In fact, I bet you could ask almost anyone you know who does PvP regularly. Everybody has a story about it. Everybody has a story about some cheating that they have personally seen. Do you realize how out of control the situation has to be for you to be able to notice that? For everyone to have a story like that. And they're not doing anything about it, and I don't think that they will until it becomes a real PR problem and people higher up at Square Enix are like, hey, fix your shit now. FF14 is a massive issue with hackers, but Square Enix pretends nothing is wrong. Yes. They're just going to be pushed into a corner because we've had a few times where Yoshi P was like, hey guys, please stop using the cheating and modding and stuff. And I'm a person who, I mean, I'm not going to get on here and tell people, hey, go download mods, right? I'm going to tell you not to do that. But I can see the benefit in many mods that do exist. And I would hate to see all of those wiped away and gone because in general, people can't control themselves. But how can you expect people to control themselves? Like, it's just, it's a slippery slope. Expecting cheater to listen. Yeah, I know. I'll never forget that big come to Jesus chat Yoshi P had with us. I think it was a few years ago where he sat down and he's like, guys, now I'm just going to ask you really nicely, okay? Like, heart to heart. Okay, gamer to gamer. Please stop. Okay? Pinky promise? Please stop doing that. That's what he said. They should differentiate between glam mods and cheat mods, but they can't. There's some cases where they actually can't. Here's an example. There's a housing mod that makes it much easier, better, and just a generally improved experience to put furnishings in your house and put them wherever you want them to go, okay? It's a massive improvement over the base game system. And it makes housing decorating viable for a lot of people who don't want to sit there for 8 to 10 hours glitching one item a centimeter at a time. So it will go up into the ceiling. Like, people, that's insane to ask people to be doing that if they want to put an item where they wanted to put it, right? But there's mods that allow you to do this that are illegal. And there's a good reason that they're illegal because they actually use the same technology that someone might use to hack themselves into a place that they're not supposed to be. So like putting an object where it's not supposed to be, it's a similar tech to putting yourself under a map, right? Going into an area that you're not really supposed to be. And so this is the reason why it's very difficult for them to separate out good and bad. It's why some games just have the modding API that modders can use to just make approved add-ons, and then so then the game developer can decide, you know, what's allowed, what should be allowed, and what shouldn't be allowed. But that's not happening for FF14 ever. It's going to be all or nothing for FF14. It always will. And so the best practice that we've all been saying for years and years is just, well then, keep it quiet, don't do cheating. Keep it quiet, don't say anything about it, like don't be too, you know, over the top about it. Keep it to yourself and don't do anything harmful to other players. And this is the only way that we can, like, if we work together as a community, we can keep these tools without having like a big ban hammer come down on everybody's head one day out of the blue. But as the game gets bigger and bigger, I feel like that's just not reasonable to assume everyone would agree to do that. Like, as more and more people join the game, it's just, it was always going to get out of control. It's just human nature. Yeah. You can only say, please just don't cheat for so long.